So my ethos has always been just get your head down, you work hard, always just achieve and just striving to do a bit better. It just went from strength to strength. A, I've always wanted just to do well. But then B, it was, why do you want that? And it was to help other women to have an easier journey. Our roles are to create environments that improve the day-to-day well-being of people within a workplace. Like, that's our job. Innovation is amazing and to be embraced. But if you're designing for yourself, you'll always be the concept designer rather than the design and build designer. If you could say to your young self, you don't have to be perfect in everything before you do it. Like, just go for it and see what happens.
3 years after we've started this podcast, we thought it was time to make sure that those lessons and the takeaways from our amazing guests were actually actionable, something you can really put into place. So we have launched show notes, a bi-weekly email, get into your inbox, and that will give you the key headlines that is indexable, findable, actionable. We can really start to make a difference in creating healthy, happy workspaces. So the link's below, or you can head to stansons.co.uk/space. Look forward to seeing you sign up. Hello, and welcome to another episode of Space by Stansons. Today, you're lucky to be hearing this because we've been trying to book it in for a year, probably. I'm with Kathryn O'Callaghan-Mills, the founder of Studio Sevyn. Literally, so many things to talk about. I don't even quite know where we're going to start or where we're going to finish, but she's had a massive history in design, from being on board level, huge DMB firms, and now her own studio, and worked. Just if you don't know Kathryn, most people probably know you anyway. It's great, done loads of great work. So just an amazing story, and I'm gonna I said this actually just the other day. I hate the word "get under the skin."
Yeah,
it's just a bit weird, isn't it? But I need to find another word because you keep saying it even on camera. I don't like it. But yeah, I'm going to really dig in and just talk about where we are at and what's it with Studio Sevyn and everything. So firstly, welcome to the show, Kathryn.
Thank you to the most patient man on earth.
Thank you. I'm really looking forward to hearing it. Haven't planned anything, but isn't that the best way?
That's fun, yeah.
We're supposed to be raw and the boring word authentic, but just sensible.
Good.
Good. So Kathryn, you have founded Studio Sevyn. When did that drop?
Wow, it was officially 1st of May 2025. So nearly been running a year. It's been so exciting. Just a real, I wasn't sure what to expect. Didn't plan much.
Did you not?
just went for it. But fortunately, it's been incredible just meeting new people, exploring different businesses, and also keeping my relationship alive with business of past who I totally have the utmost respect for. So it's been a really, really great year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a weird setting up though, anyway. Suddenly so being weird. A one-person band.
Know, right? Yeah. And I'm going from I think it was about 13 years of directorship. And from that, very traditional directorship where it's sitting on a board, you're overseeing large teams and having to think consistently about, the well-being of people, on workload on people, making sure no one's getting burnout, the financials that reflect all of that, and investing in people and all of those things, to then suddenly going, I only have to think about little old me. It was really weird. I did feel a little bit lost at the beginning because as well, when you're used to such a hustle and bustle every day to working in one's office, it was quite quiet.
Yes, so, I can imagine. But it does. I'm sure I've said this, but I probably even said it to you. It feels like 2025, 2026 are the years of design, interior design, workplace design is obviously it's all I really know.
Yeah.
Going freelance.
Yeah, I've seen a massive boom.
Massive share.
Yeah. And so successfully.
So successfully.
Well. And the nice thing is that this little community that I feel like I'm only scratching the surface of is really welcoming. People support each other, give each other like opportunities, which it's almost like a different outlook to the D&B mentality of our ship, your ship, we're versus each other. The freelance community has been quite open arms.
Yeah, I haven't really thought about that, but I have even seen it.
Yeah.
Like, because people post that I'm looking for someone to help, and then I tie up the two. And
that's great. Like, it really is. And yeah, like, and the nice thing is knowing so many people throughout kind of a 20-year span. Like, my motto from the beginning was never, like, always, sounds a bit lame, but always treat people how you expect to be treated, and be kind, because you never know who you're going to meet on the way down. And it's so true. And it's been amazing, because there's people literally from day one that I now freelance with, like, which is just after 20 years of knowing each other, which it's really lovely.
That is good.
Yeah.
And the background, like, talk to me a bit about your time and how you got into. How did you even get into design? Did you do the study, the whole?
Yeah, do you know what? It was an interesting journey. So my education from, like, if we start at the very beginning, was very, very traditional. So you keep your head down, work hard, get your grades, and get up the ladder. I went to Central St Martin's because I pushed myself. I was like, go to the best art school in London. That was a phenomenal experience and just opened my eyes to everything. Got the degree and then went into the big wide world thinking...
An interior design degree?
Yes.
Yeah, so you always knew you want...
Sorry, no. I did a furniture and product design degree, which is really... Everyone has that reaction. They go, oh,
yeah,
that's interesting.
Well, I get it.
Yeah, it's like, different.
Yeah.
And I did like a sandwich course. So in my third year, I went and worked for I did 6 months and 6 months into residential interior design agencies. And that was, one of them was bad shape. It was
bad shape.
Crackers, just crackers. But such a massive eye-opener into the world of resi, which I decided not to go into. And then, after graduating, thought it would be easy, just went for it. And it wasn't. So I actually started, I knew about design and build. Hadn't done that much research, I'm not going to lie. And I got offered a temping job as a receptionist in a design and build firm. And they were a relatively small design and build firm. It was only 2 weeks. And after it was up, I thought, I'm going to go for it. So I went and asked the MD and said, this is my portfolio. I actually would love to do what your design team do. Like, could you give me a shot? And fortunately for me, that very kind gentleman said, yeah, we'll give you a shot. So that's how the world of D&B started for me. But it was really interesting because from that one moment, why is the temp receptionist now sitting in our design studio? I was going
to say, how was that taken down with the design studio?
So, it wasn't easy, to be perfectly honest. And D&B was a very different time 20 years ago. It was a lot more slapdash in a way, just a lot less professional and resourceful as what we have now in the big entities. So it really was a case is from that moment, I just felt like I had to prove myself and prove your spot and your worth. So my ethos has always been just get your head down, you work hard, you play hard as well. Like, had the best time ever. Like, 20s was just brilliant. Always just achieve and just, striving to do a bit better. And then, it just went from strength to strength. So I started in D&B, I went to traditional. That was, again, super eye-opening. Had an amazing female director who just, I learned so much from her in the short time I was there. And then knew I wanted to be back in D&B. And so from that moment onwards, it was full on D&B, just head down, work hard and work your way up.
And what's it like being a female in that environment, especially like 20 years or 15 years, 10 years ago? Like, how was that?
Oh, gosh.
And just give it to me, because I'm sure it wasn't always easy.
No, it wasn't easy. And I think the sad thing is at the time, you don't see it. You don't realise maybe the prejudice against you or the disparity of male leads within businesses. And I think that's actually why I yearned to go down the traditional route, because it just seemed much fairer with structure in place. And I saw more women in directorship positions. Yeah, from the beginning, it was a fantastic experience. But I think you were seen slightly, I don't want to say as like a secondary layer of, but I didn't see many pioneering female leaders.
Role models.
Yeah, role models at that time. When I kind of flipped back from trad into D&B, it was something that I just had that fire in me that I just wanted. I've always wanted just to do well, get to the top. It's sort of just in my bones from a young age. And but then B, it was, why do you want that? And it was to help other women to have an easier journey, I think. And so I've been really passionate, I mean, especially in the last 10 years, about equality within D&B and how we can help just open more doors and just, encourage more young women to get into D&B. It's come along strides. It has gone strides. But I would say it just feels slightly plateauing, in the sense that when you do look at the top tier and you look at their board structures, it's still very, very male dominated. You know, construction is a 75% male dominated industry. It always will be, I think, from the sense of, obviously you have the site side as well. But yeah, that was one of my desires, I think, within a career, is just to try and set an example. And don't get me wrong, I had some, leadership people going through my career that I thought, well, that's how I wouldn't want to do it. But that's okay, because you need to learn and listen. And I think working for people that I found challenging to work for actually was brilliant, because you learn that you have to be the one that has to adapt. Like, is it a pain in the ass? Yes. But are you the better? Like, the outcome will be better for you in the long run. Absolutely. Because, you just have to learn to adapt.
Yeah, I do find it strange, though, that women are, as a demographic, they are the greater in the design industry.
Yeah.
From a designer's perspective, you get more women designers than men.
Yeah.
However, it's such a male-dominated space still.
Yeah.
It's just funny.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean.
Oh, I know. It is. And when you go to FX or Mix and it's predominantly designers, it's predominantly like female tables there, which is amazing to see. But I think it still has this connotation and disparity that if you want to be at the top, or if you want to be a female PD or construction manager, you have to be slightly maybe aggressive. Like, you have to really, lack emotion, just be direct. And I just don't believe in that at all. I believe emotion is a good thing. Emotion is powerful. And there's a reason why we are genetically built differently. And if you had just one singular voice to run businesses, it would be so flat. If you have no diversity and no disparity in age or gender or race, it's just one line. Yeah, so
you miss a lot of tricks.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
So what can we do? Let's change the world now.
I'm really big on like ageism as well, genuinely, because I was quite young when I went into a directorship position, and it was a lot of things were said that I knew that would slightly derogatory towards me. And a young person can run a business. Like, their minds are phenomenal. Like, they're completely different minds to the mind of a 40-plus-year-old. So it needs change from the top, change from within, and not PR change, like true change. So I think, in my perspective, you always learn from example. So you need those role models, and you need that person who fights for the equality. Or, I had a mentor from a young age who's absolute phenomenal mind, like incredible man. And he fought for equality. And I do genuinely feel he had such a huge impact on me personally that I wouldn't have achieved what I achieved without his support, because everyone needs someone to just
But both
cheerleader.
men and women. But
Of course.
It's not.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, exactly that.
I do agree. Like ageism is a big deal. Yeah, and equality in gender as well. It's like a big deal. With such a sort of hungry, ruthless industry, and the world is just sort of kind of speeding up. I'm almost worried that we're gonna go backwards. Not to be negative, but just in the almost not having enough time. Like Zeus and your mentor put a lot into you. Like, well, would that still happen if they're so busy?
I totally see your perspective. I guess as well, when I talk about equality, it's not to the detriment of men. Like I should have made that really clear, but I perceive equality as it's regardless of your gender, regardless of your age. And I do feel like, flexible working, things like that. Our industry is renowned for it being like a bit of a bad thing. Because the industry is so demanding and it's a force of nature. I remember when I was a board director and there were several women coming back to work and they wanted to come back 4 days a week and it was just like absolutely no question. But I also had the same perspective. If you didn't have children or if you were male or if you were female, it wasn't about a mother coming back to work. It was just if you need flexible working to look after your elderly parent or and whatever it is, it should be available to all. So, it's such a tough topic, and some companies do it amazing. Some businesses have their black and white rules and they stick by it, and each are both hugely successful. But I think it is narrow-minded and short-lived to not embrace, bringing women up to the top and pining for equality and supporting flexible working. I just think it's short-sighted.
I don't like people that sell something that they don't do.
Yeah, we see that all the time.
And that is, it's just personal. Like I'm not like knocking anyone in that sense, but just personally, like you wouldn't like to buy something from a really sustainable brand and then the owners aren't sustainable, for example, or like environmentally friendly. And it's the same, like if you're selling workspace and you're creating these like a flexible workspaces and it's like retaining a talent and attracting talent, all this lovely talk we have, but then we're not practicing what we preach.
What you preach,
It's kind of a bit like,
It's so true. It is so true. Our roles are to create environments that improve the day-to-day well-being of people within a workplace. Like that's our job. So to then not have that in your own, it's just madness. It is.
And so then you were on the board.
Oh yes. So
and you're a woman. Were you the only one?
For some time I was, for some time. And the gentleman that I sat alongside, to this day, I still ask some of them for advice and guidance. They're just really inspiring people that genuinely supported me all through those years. Because it's one of those things, I think, no matter what your education or experience, no one teaches you how to go into leadership. And you can go on all the training courses in the world. But the reality is very different from the training room. So it's really important to have those people around you that you just trust and rely on and support and vice versa. So to this day, just an incredible bunch of guys.
And are you a mentor for anybody?
Used to be. My time is a little limited these days. But I took great joy. And do you know what? I'm probably inadvertently a mentor without calling it a mentorship, if that makes sense, because lots of the team would still call me and I feel so privileged that they would still call me for a chinwag, for a bit of advice, or just to chew the fat on something. So I am really, really lucky. But to me, that's the thing as well, like titles and branding something and making it too formal and official is very professional, right? But I'm quite unprofessional in the boundaries of you're my friend, but also I'm your manager, but also I deeply care about your well-being and I would want you to call me anytime, day or night, about anything if it's of importance. So so I probably am without realising it. I hope.
I find it simply fascinating how physical space can totally change how we think, feel, and behave. Meaning it can pause distractions, it can connect us, it can mean we do our very best work. And that's where Stansons steps in. This show is created by Stansons, who design, make, and install curtains and acoustics to create the perfect environment for people to flourish and do their very best work. You've got a project on, we know how it feels. Reach out and we'll start to talk.
So you mentioned about like being a inspiration and maybe a role model for someone like coming into the industry. Oh, like it can be done, you can drive it, and then to think that you're having that influence and you're having that mentor, it's great. Like it's good to see it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's super important. I think the nice thing is by keeping in touch with so many people, if you see early on that someone feels like they can't and they just need to, you got this, just X, Y, Z, and you're there. There's nothing nicer than just seeing like, someone else achieve and being their cheerleaders.
The amount of money. I mean, it's kind of beside the point. But if you see someone flourish and change and like it's just a legacy you can't sort of cap, can you? Do you know what I mean?
No, it's lovely.
It's so heartwarming, isn't it? Yeah. Oh, that was worth it.
Yeah, for sure.
However much it was, how much work it was, it's worth it.
For sure. It makes me warm and fuzzy seeing like a junior that I would have from 13 years ago is now a design director somewhere. And like, I will always be the first one to go, yeah, congratulations, just smashing it. Like, it's just brilliant. And I think there's two very definitive strands that you can fall into in our industry. And that's the lone wolves that will rise to the top and do their own thing, but are little islands and do extremely well. And then there's the more kind of community side of designers who support each other to enable each other to rise up and make their own path. And yeah, I'm very much in that camp.
Yeah. So you've been doing like from the receptionist and getting in the design teams.
Sneaking
You've been in design 20 years?
20 plus, yeah.
What's the one like lesson? What's one thing that like you think that you have to take into projects? Oh gosh. Well, I think I've learned so many lessons over the years. And one of the biggest lessons I've learned is to never forget how to listen to a client and really understand them because you're designing for them. I think in the era that we're in at the moment, it's so dangerous to fall into the bigger is better and wow and challenge when if you don't understand the client and the brief and you haven't listened from the first moment you've met them, none of that matters. And I mean, I learned a lesson. It was a while ago, but it was a really big pitch in the industry. It was all the top players. And at the time I was with a business that was what I would consider probably tier 2. We went for it, like, did our best, had fun with it, but really understood the client, to use your term, got under their skin, but didn't listen. Awful saying. Awful saying that I use all the time. You got under their skin.
But it was it was a brilliant experience. But what I produced, I didn't love. It was, it was one of the designs that I would go, yeah, it's all right. But it was because they were a very humble business and their ethos was all about staying true to their roots and their originality and being humble. That was literally what their word. So we focused on the detail and just trying to create the wow through little vignettes as you walk around and the flow and just connections within the space. So we were really, really lucky that we run it as a business. It was a huge deal for that business because it was quite small. And so when I had the opportunity, the client showed me some of the other pitches, which is always like, oh, it's so great, so good to be nosy. He showed me one of them in particular, just blew me away. It was an animation. And back then, animations were 10 a penny because they were so expensive to make. And it was, genuinely, it was phenomenal. Like the structure, the
design, the colouring, all the features. And I felt embarrassed. And I remember saying to the client, I was just like, well, that's amazing. Are you sure you want this? Like, do you want that? Like, let's workshop this out. He said to me, he said, yeah, it is amazing. And we can respect how much went into that and how interesting and creative that is. However, that's not us. And they didn't listen. And I think from that moment on, it was just one of those, wow, okay, I must always, always listen. And you do see it now with new generations coming into the workplace, that they want to try different things all the time, which is amazing. Innovation is amazing and to be embraced. But if you're designing for yourself, you're never gonna win. You'll always be the concept designer rather than the design and build designer. Because I've seen it before in interviews when you see beautiful portfolios and you say, oh gosh, beautiful, it's beautiful. So what was the biggest challenge on site? And how did you link that detail to your ceiling and your floor? And oh no, we didn't build it. And you just go, oh, okay. Because I just think it's a missed opportunity when you don't get to the build stage.
Yeah, there's that saying that you can run really fast in the wrong direction.
Yeah. Well, you've got great ideas, but to never see them come to fruition,
Or do a phenomenal design that's completely off brief.
Yeah, exactly.
It's so basic listening, but I do agree.
Yeah, I think, and that's one thing I really hope moving forward and bringing into like this little design consultancy would just always be at the forefront of just like, we listen.
So how will you do that?
Oh, I hope by creating lovely environments for lovely clients who will understand that that's what I do. Yeah, I hope.
Just in innate, in your characteristics, in your nature, that you would just listen and
and it's a
understand.
collaboration. It's I find it very challenging when you're given a piece of paper with no interaction and you're told to just go and design something off a piece of paper and it's just very detached. I find those pitches and tenders like really challenging because people learn from people, like from their first interaction. You'll understand what the client wants and how their teams might work, or just even going to see, their current environment and all that good stuff. So yeah, I hope that's one of our biggest kind of winner chicken dinner, just where we listen to what people do.
Yeah, no, I think it's so important. I also think the message also for if any end clients are listening, workspace managers, is that the importance and property portfolio night managers is the importance of a brief, like that the amount of work I see, and it's like, it's not really briefed, like brutally. And then secondly, to have FaceTime with people, because you're essentially designing for people, and to design without like having that connection.
I know.
And
I've
understanding.
actually pulled out of work before because I felt so uncomfortable about not having client time in a big 4-week tender.
Mm-hmm.
And it made the bold move to say this isn't for me, because I don't feel I'm going to do it justice. And we all know how much goes into a pitch or a tender. It's all encompassing. You have to give it your soul. And when you sit there and think, I'm prepared to do that, but I need like an hour or two of your time. And if the client doesn't have that, rightfully so, if they're too busy, then your values don't align. So I think you have to be brave sometimes.
I do. I can also see that some people might not want to make time for designer build or for anyone, because it's a sales pitch. Whereas we need to reframe it, because it's not a sales pitch. It's a consultancy. It's an understanding. It's getting under their skin. It's
there is.
It's learning them. It's like a marriage, isn't it? It's like two people coming together, two companies coming together to deliver something. If there's not like a conversation, it's like it's going to be pretty.
It's going to be flat.
You'll be lucky if you hit.
Oh, I know. And then it's always the heartbreak at the end where if you don't get it, you just think, well, I knew I wasn't really going to nail that. And it very much is a collaborative approach. Like, it's got to be, because no one knows their business is better than the people who work at the top. So
So do you get time generally face to face?
Yeah. I mean, I've been very fortunate to have some really, really inspiring clients throughout the years as well. You know, people who I'm still in contact with, who I would pick up the phone and ask advice to as well. And they've got nothing to do with design or design and build, but just, you know, the way their minds tick. But I think it's such an intense process, especially when you do win a project and you're going through the build as well with a client. It brings you together, you're one team, because the end result is it's for everybody to celebrate, and in everybody's interest. It's, you know, it's fantastic. So yeah, I would say, you know, just persevere. Just keep trying to get a little bit more face time. But it's always, I mean, I think if you had the data of the amount of pitches that I've pitched and the win ratio always reflects more face time, just without a doubt.
You can design something, can't you? You can get in
exactly.
it. So Studio Sevyn is now up and running, year anniversary coming up. What's the next year, 2,
next?
3? Yeah,
wow.
what are you looking forward to doing?
Well, it was a leap of faith, and just in the start. So I didn't have a master plan, and now having experienced kind of what the industry is open to and the doors that have kind of opened, it is something I would love to grow and have a little design studio collective. That's the aspiration, I think. And because it was derived from, I want to say this without sounding like a massive cheeseball, but just being able to show our daughter that anything is possible, and you can do whatever you want to do. So I would love to grow something that she would turn around and go, wow, Mama, that's cool.
I think if anyone's got a son or a daughter that's listening to this, they'll understand that it's not a cheese board.
It just sounds cliche, doesn't it? But you know.
I think it does kick into human nature though, doesn't it? It's it's suddenly not all about profit. It's about legacy. It's about inspiration, inspiring people, driving change. And if you've got a daughter that's going to one day look at what she wants to do and where she wants to go, and it's about inspiring and giving them that confidence and Mama did it, I can do it. Do you know what I mean? And I think you're totally you're going to have a very proud daughter one day.
Just keep pushing the crafts. Keep colouring.
What are you doing after school clubs? It's
colour
amazing
in.
what they gravitate to though, isn't it?
Yeah.
It is amazing what they gravitate to. I find it hilarious. So are your clients going to be are you going to be working freelance for other design and build companies, or are you going to be working freelance for end clients?
I would love a mixture of both. So predominantly at the moment, I'm working for end user D&B clients. It's what I know, contacts I have, and that's been brilliant, just absolutely brilliant. And I know where I'm at. You know, I know the processes inside out. I know the people, and it's been really, really positive. But I do see friends in the freelance industry who work with their clients. I've always said actually within the design and build pitch, the most powerful all your players in the game is the designer, because they're not selling to the client, and they're not the good guy bad cop money person. They are the kind of trustee of the client. So I mean, I've seen lots of friends who have created hugely successful businesses through just clients taking them through from workplace to workplace. So that would be wonderful. But to be honest, there's even been a residential inquiry, which is super, and from a client actually, so commercial client. Are you
up for residential work? Say yes carefully.
Yes. No, I'm absolutely we're in talks. It's hugely exciting. But do you know what? The perfectionist in me wants to master that art before I would be let loose on someone's home. But I'm very lucky that they have the trust in me. But I think that's one thing. I think, if you could say to your young self, you don't have to be perfect in everything before you do it. Just go for it and see what happens. That's a prime example where I've been asked to do something because of what they recognised in the commercial project. But yet my own inner voice goes, oh, you're not a resi designer, because it's a label, isn't it? But
yeah, so I'm going to give it a shot.
I actually have had this discussion with someone before, and I said, well, if you can design workspace, you can design resi. And they said, no, it's completely different.
Oh gosh, don't tell me that.
I know. It's completely different because like workspace, it's got different like regulations and different this and different that, and it is different. But yeah, I've worked with a designer on a resi project.
Oh, great.
Who isn't a resi designer.
Ah, interesting.
It's a workplace designer. And they did a great job. And I think like the two, I personally feel like that you can, because the two worlds are so merged now.
Yeah, I think, and it just depends on the individual, right?
And the designer, the two individuals. Again, it goes back to that whole FaceTime and that relationship and those people and how it'll work. But I think if you can do it, you can do it.
Just give it a shot, see what happens.
Fingers crossed. No, that's amazing. And I want to ask you another question. What music do you listen to when you're trying to concentrate?
Oh gosh. Oh, Guy, this is embarrassing because my music taste is like...
That's brilliant.
Proper pop. Do you know what? I'm actually into like acoustic covers at the moment. Just anything. I'm trying to just be mellow and calm at home. I think life is so hectic at the moment for us. The home environment, like my office at home, is now just such a calm sanctuary. So yeah, I have lots of acoustic covers on.
No voice.
No voice. And even a little dabble of classical, I've got to say. Like, yeah, I mean, from my roots, I was trained classically in a few musical instruments. And I've noticed now I put that on actually at home when I'm just trying to calm and just focus. But yeah, I am a bit of a pop fiend as well. I'm not cool.
To be honest, I am too. I will listen to anything, but yeah, I do. When it's not, a lot of people do say when it's not got voice, it helps. Do you know what I mean?
It does. You defocus more. Yeah.
Oh, it's amazing, Kathryn. Thank you for coming on. Thank you for sharing your story.
Well, thanks for having me.
It's amazing and inspiring, I think, for everybody to be like, yeah, you can do whatever you want to do, but then particularly for women to see someone that's been on a board, at board level, from a receptionist.
Nothing was receptionist. Yeah.
Nothing. I was like, look what happens. And then to actually founding your own studio, I mean, like, it's just an amazing journey, and the lessons from it and everything are great. So thanks for sharing.
Thank you so much, and thank you for being patient.
You're welcome.